Here we go with chapter 8. Now, boys and girls, I want to remind you that I sent a message to your parents about this, but I have noticed when I watch back the YouTube videos that the words on the screen are sometimes blurry. I definitely want you following along as I'm reading. So if you need to have your printout of the words in front of you while you're reading, or if you want to go straight to the chapter and not be seeing me as I'm reading, I want to be sure that you're in a spot where you can read the words clearly. So if it's blurry on the screen with me up here in the corner, then I want you to read it on a different page. I want you to follow along on a different paper so that it's clear, because it's important for you to see the words as I'm reading them. Okay, here we go. Chapter 8. More pelts to sell. Ma did keep her word about those extra chores. Every day I worked after school until supper, and then after supper until dark. I figured I wouldn't get to see dogs' pups until their eyes were open. It was on Saturday that Ma said, "You'd best check on Dog and then get on about replacing the parson's Bible. You can hunt until evening chores." "Thanks, Ma. I'll be back on time." I strapped on my knife, picked up the box of shells, shouldered Pa's rifle, and pounded down the path. I knew where I'd find Willie B, so I didn't bother knocking at the house. Sure enough, he was in the barn, same as last time, only now Dog was nestled up against him and her pups against her. "Will she let me touch them?" "Sure, but talk to her first. Let her know you won't hurt them." I laid the rifle in the hay and knelt down slowly. I greeted Dog softly, then I reached out my hand for her to sniff. I stroked the top of her head and down onto her back. Then I slid my hand over to the black puppy. Dog didn't object. The puppy was softer than corn silk, only it was warm and full of life. "What did you name them?" "Been working on that, but nothing fits yet. Pa said I can't keep them, so I oughtn't get attached. He said one dog is all we need." I need a dog, I thought. Oh, how many times have I told Pa that I need a dog? I fingered the wrinkled skin of the puppy. Aloud, I said, "This pup is softer than our very best pelt." Pelts, I thought. Game hunt, Willie B? Game hunt? I guess I surprised him as much as I did myself. Ma said I could hunt today. "Well, you can hunt all you want, but I'm staying with Dog." Maybe it was mean, but I knew a way to get him on his feet. I smiled. "Fine. We can sell pelts or we can sell Dog. Take your pick." I waited while he blinked and swallowed twice. Willie B nuzzled each of the puppies in turn before setting them gently on Dog's side. He scratched Dog behind the ears, then lifted her muzzle with one hand. "Got promises to keep, girl." Without another word, he stood and dusted himself off. "Game hunt, Jamie." And it was a good one. I got 6 rabbits and only wasted 2 shots. Willie B did nearly as well, even without Dog. "Let's nail them in rows of 4, Jamie." "Why?" "Well, 4 pelts will bring $1. We can count it up real easy that way." So I nailed up 2 rows and part of the next and was home in time for chores. All told, it was a pretty good day. After 2 more hunts, we had 5 rows of pelts on the barn. We pulled the nails, rolled up the skins, and headed back to Madison. When I climbed into the wagon, I asked, "Why did you bring all the dogs?" "The pups are a month old now. Time to see the world." Dog was lying on her side in a big wooden box. Her mouth was open, with her tongue hanging out the side. The 2 puppies were tumbling over each other, so you could hardly tell where one pup left off and the next began. Willie B reached in the box and lifted out the brown pup. I fished out the other one. I held his plump black belly in one hand and roughed his ears up with the other. Then I set him on my lap and pretended he was mine. I let him gnaw on my hand. "Why, he's all belly and teeth, Willie B." He just smiled. The little lady was already asleep on his stomach, riding every breath up and down. We got to Madison almost before we knew it. I put the black pup back in the box, and Dog licked my sleeve. I scooted to the end of the wagon and jumped down onto the dusty road. Just like before, Willie B's pa told us to be back by 1. And leave those pups in the wagon. Here? Willie B watched until his pa had disappeared through the door of the livery. Then he pushed the bundle of pelts toward me. You go, Jamie. I'll wait here. Okay, the last 2 pages are for you to read on your own. Enjoy the rest of the chapter.